Hello, hello, lovelies. All right, let's make sure this is going live and is working. So I tagged everybody who had mentioned that they were interested, and of course I can always add more tags if you guys need. So hopefully you'll be able to watch this. I'm going to keep this super short, so I don't know if I'm going to really even be on long enough for the Facebook algorithm thing to really kick on and start making sure everyone joins. So we're going to keep this quick because the whole point of this is getting effective exercise even when you don't have time. And cool, we are live. Awesome. So, let's dig right in. So the big thing I want to leave you guys with today is the one simple action that you can start taking. And we're going to bust a little bit of myths so that you can actually really start taking that action and getting some good results. So the big thing that I want to address first is this truly, like, what effective exercise is going to depend, of course, on what your goals are, right? So generally speaking, I think most people here, they are here because they're just wanting something that they can do consistently so that they can improve health, so they can feel comfortable in their bodies. We're not looking for like massive body transformation, like going into like figure athlete competitions and that sort of thing. We're really looking for just the basics that you can be consistent with, where you can reach your ideal weight and maintain that for life while still being able to balance everything else. That's kind of like the whole point of what I do, right? Being able to consistently and intuitively take care of yourself while expertly balancing work, family, and life. You really want the full cake, I guess, is what we'll say, where you get to have it all. So that being said, just if you are one of those rare people that are like really looking for like big body transformation with like basically turning your body into like a figure athlete style body, that's not what I'm talking about here. So enough on that. So today I want to give you guys the one big tool that you can get started with. And so first we got to bust a myth. And I think you guys will be pretty happy to hear this one. You do not have to exercise for half an hour to an hour every single day in order for it to be effective. So yay! So give me some little hearts and thumbs up if you are super happy to hear that, because I know that can be really hard, and that can actually keep a lot of people from like starting an exercise habit, because it can be hard, and if not nearly impossible, to carve out a full hour every day or even a full 30 minutes every day, especially when you factor in like you got to change, you got to clean up after, you got to do the workout, you got to do a warm up, you got to do a cool down. Like that starts really like cutting into your time. And if you are already a busy person, you know, especially if you're trying to say run your own business, trying to manage your family, even if you are a stay-at-home mom, I'm a stay-at-home mom. It is amazing to me how little time I actually have without even having to work outside the home. So like, I get it. I get that all of us, this is the society we live in. This is the world we live in, the life that we kind of have to contend with. And while we have some control over, you know, creating more calm spaces, creating more white space in our schedule, you only have so much control, especially when you're dealing with other people and family and friends and kids and blah. All right, so enough on that. We are busy people. We recognize that. So let me tell you, if this is you and your biggest goal in terms of exercise is to start just doing something that you can stick with and trust that it's going to help over time, the number one thing that you can do is actually squeeze little 5-minute chunks in and break up the sitting. Like hands down, the most important thing you could possibly do if you are this busy, especially if you spend a lot of time sitting like at a desk job, but in general, we want to start breaking up the sitting as much as possible and getting you moving intentionally. And so again, You do not have to do 30 solid minutes of exercise. You could actually take that 30 minutes and break it up into 5-minute chunks and stick them in throughout your day, and you will still have gotten the exact same value out of that exercise that you would have got if you just spent the solid 30 minutes. So that's where the effective piece really comes in that I want you guys to know. When we're dealing with just trying to create a consistent habit, the 30 minutes that you would spend is equally as effective as doing it in 5-minute chunks that ultimately total up to 30 minutes. Same with 20. You could do a 20-minute solid chunk, or you could break it up into 4 or 5-minute chunks, and you would still have the same level of effectiveness. In fact, you might actually make it more effective, because this is my favorite study to quote. There's this incredible study that they did a couple years ago now, where they found that the people who are like the weekend warrior type people who get their single hour-long workout, 30-minute long, hour-long, whatever, that single workout in, even if it's every single day, and they spend the rest of their time sitting, they are actually at a higher risk for chronic disease than people who simply broke up the sitting more throughout the day. So breaking up the sitting is hands down the most important factor here, not getting the big chunk of exercise. You really want to get the sitting broken up. That being said, I've had a lot of people who perceive that they are very busy physically throughout the day. Some people are like that, right? Where you're just constantly moving. You can't sit still for too long. So you're up and about and up and down and up and down. You're doing one thing, doing another thing. It doesn't count quite the way you want it to, sadly. So we got to talk about intentional exercise, and that's kind of the point here. That is good overall for your metabolism. Often those are the people that do tend to not struggle with weight gain as much. So like that level of busyness is useful for the metabolism, but it really doesn't fully cut it, especially if you have any chronic health issues or just actual health goals that you are working toward. So the big thing that you can do is intentional exercise, and remove the expectation that it has to be for 20, 30, 60 minutes. It does not have to be that long in order to be effective. This one, I think you will kind of internalize that one. I can tell this to you over and over, but generally people do struggle to really accept that as truth, because health and fitness industry has done a great job convincing people otherwise. So you'll experience it, but really just try to let that internalize, try to trust that even a small little 5-minute, even a 2-minute chunk of intentional exercise is going to be way more effective than if you maybe or maybe don't do that 30 minutes. Because, right, like what's the likelihood that you're actually going to squeeze in the solid 30 minutes every single day? Because that's basically what you would need to do to start reaping the benefits that you're wanting to get. If you do not have the 30 minutes, let's just focus on the health benefits that you're going to get from breaking up the sitting, and double down on that and really get you powerful results by doing the intentional exercise as well. So generally what that's going to look like, again, kind of depends on you, depends on where you're at physically, what your foundation is with fitness. So if you're just starting out, you guys know me, I'm not going to encourage you to do any kind of high intensity stuff. I also want to debunk that myth real quick that you're going to get any superior benefits or superior results by doing a short but highly intense workout. I actually did a whole podcast episode on that. I will drop the link to that here when I'm done, on why you actually don't need the high intensity. I go in depth in debunking that myth. There's actually no scientific research. As much as they like to say it's backed by science, there is no scientific research that shows for the average person you're going to get any better benefits by doing an intense workout in a short period of time. There's just none. So I'll drop the link to that podcast episode. So all you need to do is get up and intentionally move periodically throughout the day. Again, take that 20 or 30-minute chunk of time, split it into 5 minutes. Generally, you can squeeze 5 minutes in anywhere. I highly recommend trying this every hour or every 2 hours. Any longer than that spent sitting is really detrimental to your health. So start breaking up the sitting and make sure you have signed up for the movement habit challenge, because I'm actually going to give you 4 or 5. I haven't quite decided if we're doing 4 or 5 yet, but you will get 4 to 5 short little movement routines that you can do in those little sitting breaks. They're short. Each of them are going to be designed to do something a little different. So you'll get a variety from like walking, you'll get core. That's the one I need to actually film that one. So hopefully we'll get the core one in. You will get a morning movement routine to kind of help you wake up. You will get an evening movement routine to help you stretch out and relax at the end of the day. You will get a specific sitting break routine it's strength-based, strength and mobility-based, so it will really help you reverse the sitting posture while strengthening you at the same time, which is always good for metabolism, for general health. And for like actually being productive with your work too. So this is a great sitting break for helping you just kind of get refocused for your day when you do it in the middle of your work. And I think that was all of them, right? Cardio, core, morning, evening, and sitting break. Yeah. So make sure you've signed up for that. I will drop the link here, and it's also pinned in the group. So that will start next week. And for today, what I would strongly recommend is getting in touch with your body. I always love encouraging this one. So the biggest goal, as we've talked about before in previous videos, is finding movement that feels good so that you will actually want to do it consistently. So I'm going to challenge you guys today to break up the sitting. Find at least one time, right? Start small, start with what you can do, and you can add on over the next few days. So find a single time today where you would otherwise be sitting for longer than an hour. Or just if you're busy throughout the day, just find a time today where you can dedicate 5 minutes to intentionally moving your body in a way that feels good, whether that's putting on some music and dancing, whether that's doing a quick sun salutation or two, whether it's doing some exercises that you have done in the past, whether if you've been doing physical therapy, whether you've worked with me, that sort of thing. But just commit to doing those. You could even go into the movement and exercise thread. It's pinned at the top of the group. Go in there and pull up any of the ones that we've posted in there, any option that looks good, and just do the first 5 minutes. Or you could even pull up, I put a link to the exercise library I've got super short little videos, little tutorials on how to do a variety of exercises you don't have to do them in the gym. Go pick one that looks fun and give it a try. So, you can just test it out, and this is a great time to just start experimenting with what you can do with your body. In 5 minutes, you're not really likely to be sore after that, because that's a pretty short period of time. You could also go for a walk. So, just a few ideas. That is your challenge for today, and I'm going to wrap up right there. So, let me know if you have questions. Let me know how this goes. If you accept the challenge, I want to hear how it goes for you, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye, guys.